Hi, thank you for coming back for episode 112, part B of Dis After Dark. I'm still Nick. We'll get into the show in just a minute, but again, just in case you're listening to this on a different day and may have forgot, this show does contain quite strong language, so please listen at your discretion with that in mind. Thank you very much. We'll just play our sponsors and then we'll get on with the show. Cheers. Right, and so for our other sponsor of the show, we have Wendy Pratter at Magical Journeys Travel.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
The very beautiful looking Wendy Pratter. Is she on your to-do list? Like if you meet her in real life, you're allowed to.
She's when you open the wallet.
Yeah.
She's the picture in my wallet.
I get you. But other than our lust for Wendy, her and her Magical Journeys are there to help you plan your next Disney vacation. So whether that's a Disney cruise or a trip to Disney World, Wendy can help you by getting your reservations at midnight, getting those all-important Be Our Guest dining reservations, or meet and greets with Anna and Elsa. And I think if you quote this podcast, Craig, get a bit of a discount on your deposit, don't you?
Yeah, $25 off, yeah.
There you go. So next time you want to book a holiday, give Wendy at Magical Journey Travels a little tinkle at wpmagicjourneys.com or on Twitter at wpmagicjourneys.
God bless Wendy and all that sail in it.
Hello, dear listener. I just wanted to remind you that we have another podcast in the After Dark Podcast Network, which is, of course, Pop After Dark. Me and Craig and the occasional guest talk about all things pop culture, whether that's things from the past, the present, as well as the future. And we cover everything from movies to music to video games and so much more. So please, if you think that's of interest to you, come and find us on your podcast provider of choice. Just search for Pop After Dark and come with us. We'll see you there. So I hope that answers Craig's question.
Yeah. Cool.
Did a piece of news.
Go on, him.
So have you guys heard about the express transportation ticket option?
Oh.
Yep. So this was on the back of yours.
The cabanas, yeah.
Yeah. So later this month, they're looking at an option to give you express bus transport. So $15 per person for a day. There is going to be a multi-day option. But this goes from backstage areas back to the resorts. So it gives a list here. Magic Kingdom pickup area will be Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin Exit. In Epcot, it will be near Guest Relations beside Spaceship Earth. And then Disney's Hollywood Studios is near Rock and Roller Coaster. And Kilimanjaro Safaris in the Animal Kingdom. But wow, I mean, $15 per person per day, so $60 for a family of four. Ooh. So I was just wondering, what could you blow in a day in Disney, right? So if you've got a one-day ticket with park hopper and all of that, and then you add on the bus transport, and then you have yourself a cabana in Tomorrowland, and then you go breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So deluxe dining plan for the day, and then you go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at night. Family of four. You'd need to donate kidneys and all sorts of things to pay for that.
I don't think though you would need a cabana with that express transportation and vice versa.
Nah, if you can afford the transportation, Nick, you're going to want a cabana. You're going to want the full set, right? And actually, if you just so happened to time it right, and there was a Run Disney event on that day as well, that's why you need the deluxe transportation, because you're too knackered to walk anywhere, right? So, what's the cost of a Run Disney race there, Paul?
Yeah, if you're looking at a half marathon, it's about $150 now, I think.
What?
Yeah. So there you go. Your ultimate day at Disney.
But I would pay it for the Magic Kingdom.
What, the bus thing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because you think about it, the Magic Kingdom is such a faff to get in and out of.
Yeah.
True.
You know, you got to park your car, you got to pay to park, and then you got to get on one of them tram things to the TTC, and then you've got to wait for the monorail or wait for the boat, and then blah, 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 security,
Yeah.
and then come back again.
No, just stay on site and get the bus straight to the front of the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, but that's more expensive.
Nah, just stay in the All-Stars. It's only a bed and a shower. Tell you, it'll be cheaper than this. What's that? An eight in the All-Stars, like $100.
Isn't there a deal, though, that for the length of your ticket stay, that it's only about $25?
Well, it says that there might be a multi-day option, but it doesn't say much more than that. So if you were there for 2 weeks, I don't know if that's going to be a multi-day or whether a multi-day is like 3 days or 5 days or whatever. Not sure.
Weren't they also going to do Disney's version of Uber?
Duber?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure they said something a while ago about they were going to do this sort of private car sort of taxi service for people.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps that's died a death, but I can see with the money they're trying to rinse out of people, they'll probably bring that idea back.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that.
I don't know. I mean, there just comes a point where it just looks too much. Do you know what I mean? And then what happens is people then, I think, start to think, really, you're going to charge me that for that? And then they start looking at everything else. So I don't know. I think Disney got to...
Well, let's take bets now. How much are these Club 33 memberships going to cost?
I don't know how much the ones in California are, but aren't they near 6 figures? Was it 5?
I think so.
They changed them, didn't they?
5 figures. I think they're 5 figures.
Okay, but I mean, 25? Well, I'm going to go for it. 33 grand.
Well, that would be, yeah.
Easy to remember.
I mean, the other thing is, how long before you can book that castle suite as well?
It's got to be.
I bet if you've got enough money, but then you're probably talking 6 figures.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it now.
Because there's the urban legend that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie wanted to rent it for the night, and they wouldn't let them because money can't buy that suite. I bet money can bloody buy it now.
I don't know. Might be down to people that beat up their kids. Allegedly. 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 A lot of allegedlys tonight. Yeah.
And there's a Disney connection there as well. Maleficent.
That's why she wanted to do it.
Yeah. She's getting into the role.
Wrong castle, though.
Allegedly.
She wanted to do that in Paris or California.
And it's Nick Branch, Branch.
No.
That was just for the benefit of
Adam
Angie's lawyers.
Adam Goodger.
Adam Goodger, yeah.
It's always Adam Goodger. Don't start throwing me under the bus. Whether that's a regular bus or one of these backstage transportation malarkey.
Well, yeah, it's an extra $15 if you want to be chucked under that bus. Normal bus is free. That's okay.
Just take me driving away off.
Talking of buses, I'll tell you what I did on my last trip out there by accident. I came out of... We went to the Grand Floridian, just to have a nose around. I came out the Grand Floridian and I turned right and drove right the way around the back of the Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. I mean, Disney, don't Adam the Woo me, don't ban me. It was a simple mistake. But it's basically like a little rat run where the buses can get between places quickly.
Oh.
You didn't. I thought you were going to say you ended up on the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Well, actually, I ended up at where they parked the monorails, and then I ended up at the Contemporary.
Oh, interesting.
Wow. But that was exciting.
Yeah. There's another road that goes off there. That goes down to some houses. Very strange.
Yeah.
Didn't know that was all there.
No, it's probably because you're not supposed to. But
Not-
their fault for allowing you to do it. You know,
There was no signs telling me to stop.
That's what I mean. That's a mistake on their part.
I was looking for somewhere to genuinely turn around because I'd made a genuine error, and the road just kept on going. I thought if I carry on going much further, I'm going to end up in Tomorrowland, in Frontierland.
A simple mistake. That's all it was. Don't shoot us. Was there anything else? Any other stories that anyone has seen? There is one going on now that I wanted to bring up. And it was only... Yes, I mean, by the time this episode goes out, it would have been done. But there's a Star Wars Rogue One event going on tonight in Epcot.
Oh, is this the projection?
They are turning Spaceship Earth, a.k.a. the golf ball, for one night only, into... what's that? That's from a musical, isn't
it? Jersey Boys?
No, I'm sure it's a woman that sings it. Anyway.
Okay. Oh, Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls.
Sorry, I was in London recently. This rubs off on you.
Both are in London at the moment. But they are going to turn the Spaceship Earth into the Death Star for tonight using projection mapping.
It will be for one only, because I know what happens to the Death Star at the end of the movie. It's a bit extreme. I know they had the holiday tag to Illuminations, but...
Well, yeah, you say that though, Paul. We haven't seen... Rogue One's not come out yet.
No, it's true. I got my tickets though.
Oh, yes. Ooh. Yeah, I've got mine. But
I think we all have, haven't we?
I think, spoiler alert, but I don't think the Death Star blows up.
What?
But I don't think the Death Star blows up.
It's an alternative reality, is it?
No, not that. But if you
they just don't get to that point.
Well, I'd imagine they don't, because the Death Star gets blown up in Episode 4.
Yeah, but I thought this was kind of like Episode 3.75.
Yeah. So I think
you know what I mean?
I think the 0.25 is what we see in Episode 4.
Oh, right.
I don't know. I don't know. I've tried to not read too much into the plot of this film already.
Yeah.
Other than seeing a couple of trailers and whatnot. But yeah, so maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I'll still be impressed. I'm sure that even for one night only, there's a lot of people that will be peed off by this. Calling sacrilege and calling for someone's head to be chopped off. Hopefully not Walt's frozen.
It was bad. It was bad enough for people when they put Mike Wazowski on it.
I never saw that.
Yeah, they turned it into Mike Wazowski when Monsters University came out.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah,
makes
turn
sense.
it into a one-eyed monster.
It's a big canvas. Why? What's wrong with doing random stuff like that every now and again?
Somebody got that one.
I
I'm laughing.
I completely missed that, but that's why I listen again, so it's all right. I'll pick up it on the second time and tweet you. But it's a big canvas. I don't see why anyone would object to it being used every now and again for something else.
Yeah, quite right.
It's the Epcot purists, isn't it?
Yeah, but it keeps things interesting, and it's kind of in theme with the sort of future, future-y. Well, actually, it was a long time ago, far, far away. Actually, wasn't it? I'm talking crap there.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Epcot,
forget that then.
Epcot's evolving. I mean, it's kind of like I get it in some ways because you speak to people that are still disgusted by the birthday cake castle that happened for the 25th anniversary. Now, my wife went there for the first time during that anniversary, so she didn't know any different. So she's always liked the birthday cake castle.
Oh God!
But I can understand why people were so against it. I think that should have been a limited time thing.
Yeah.
I know it was, but what I mean is, I think it lasted about 2 years. That should have been for about a week. When the anniversary was, and then down again.
Yeah, I suppose if you're taking your kids there and they know the castle and Cinderella and all of that, and you get there and it's a big birthday cake, might be a bit of a bummer. Just saying.
Yeah. That's why I don't.
What they're doing in Paris next year.
I'd love it. I'd love to see it. I'd see it. So that's happening as we speak. They're going to be live broadcasting that apparently on the Disney website. So, I mean, depends how early you listen to this. You might listen to this as it's still going on because it'll be coming out quite quickly. But
you know who's produced this, don't you?
Go on.
James Michael Roddy.
Who?
James Michael Roddy, the Imagineer.
I don't know him.
No?
That's not a name familiar to me. No.
Well, James Michael Roddy, he used to be the head honcho at Universal, and he was the show director of Halloween Horror Nights for many years.
Oh.
So he started there in the late sort of mid-90s.
Right.
And then he left for Disney about 5 or 6 years ago, and this projection mapping technology he'd brought to Halloween Horror Nights. I used it in one of the scare zones, and then he sort of brought that, and he's been doing loads of other things as well in Disney.
Wow.
And he also wrote the introduction of my new book, which I'm plugging at the moment.
Hey.
Tenuous links.
Book.
My book! Your complete set. In fact, also, that reminds me, the bit with Craig, you're going to need to get the bleep machine out quite a lot.
So I'll just put a disclaimer at the front of the episode. That'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we were listening in the studio to it, so of course, I'm aware of that, Chris. Don't know why you reminded me, but yeah, thanks.
Let's not blur the magic here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my new book about Universal Monsters is out now, and I'm just tying it in because at the moment they've just released the new trailer for The Mummy, which has nothing to do with Disney, but I'm just dropping that in now.
Good trailer, though, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Bit more serious, bit less campy than the other recent Mummy, so...
Meh.
Can we say recent Mummy? Because it's 17 years old now?
Is it really? Mother of a teenager?
18 next year, yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah.
That's not that recent, is it?
Summer of 99, that was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's a good summer that year. I mean, okay, Phantom Menace came out, but I mean, otherwise, good summer that year.
I think it feels recent because they were making damn sequels until recently.
Yeah, I think the last sequel was it's probably about
8 years
ago. 8 years, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I bought it in Florida the first time I went.
Oh, you didn't have to admit to that, Paul, but thanks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
I don't think I've ever watched it.
on one of those Walmart shopping trips.
Yeah, you do end up buying the most random stuff. I've been buying Knocked Up because it was out about 4 months early. It wasn't even that good. It's all right. But you do see something, oh, that's not available at home. Yeah.
It's true.
Did was there anything else that had piqued people's interest? Any other story?
I was going to bring up. Yeah, I was going to bring up the Hong Kong Disneyland expansions.
Hong Kong Disney expansions. Yep.
Yeah. Starting with the Iron Man experience.
Oh yeah.
That's opening next month, in fact. And also a new hotel, the Explorers Hotel, is opening next year. But they were already kind of announced, but it was the new stuff that's also coming. The Iron Man experience is going to be joined by 2 more Marvel attractions.
Oh.
Taking over the whole of Tomorrowland. One of them is a retheme of Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin.
2?
Well, the artwork includes Ant-Man.
Ah.
So it looks like it's possibly an
Paul,
Ant-Man.
Don't.
Right.
You've ruined my day now, Paul.
Yeah.
We get Cabanas and they get Ant-Man.
Yep. That's opening in 2018. As well as a new show area called Adventureland Showplace, which is an awful name. But the year after that is when they get their whole new castle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. So just Paul, if Chris, it makes you any better. Just double checked, and actually, he's half right. It's themed to it's gonna have a soundtrack of 80s music. It's actually Adamant Man. This is kind of a cross between the two, but of course that does mean that Thomas the Tank Engine will be making an appearance at the end, so that's good.
And Prince Charming.
And Prince Charming, yeah.
Nick, can I borrow your soapbox very, very quickly and just say one thing?
Jump on!
They have a damn castle. Why do they need another one?
There may be a surplus one from Paris being available.
We'll come to that in a minute.
Comes with Flip Free Dragon.
I mean, I've not seen it, but I mean, I know it's not as impressive as Tokyo. It's not as impressive as Paris, and it's not as impressive as Florida.
Isn't it a smaller version of Florida's castle? No, Disneyland's castle.
It's Disneyland.
Yeah.
And that's already small anyway.
Mm.
I mean, it's never looked particularly outstanding. But it'll be the first time, because I mean, the rumour is they're just going to knock it down and build a new one.
Wow.
Which will be pretty amazing.
Which castle are they getting?
Well, I think it's going to be based on the Shanghai one.
But bigger.
Bigger?
Yeah. Apparently they want to outdo Shanghai.
Wow.
Well, of course, Mr. Boniface, he famously went to Hong Kong Disneyland, which is how it should always be announced, in my opinion. Google it. And, he said it was a very small park. Even comparing it to like Disneyland Paris or something like that, it was a very small, pretty much a one-day park. And they're not really added that much to it. Which is why, obviously, they're having to add these things there. I think it's good that they're throwing a few Marvel things in there. But, I just think it's odd. I don't know why they chose the cast they did. Does a castle make that much of a difference? Like, are people that have not been going to Hong Kong Disneyland suddenly going to go, oh, it's got a better castle now, I'm going to go?
Good point.
No,
it's not really
I think
what I choose to go for.
Yeah, it'll be the area that comes after that will make people go, which is the Frozen area.
I'm not Game of Thrones.
Frozen land.
Not Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not Game of Thrones. That's Universal's third park.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course it is. Yes. Yeah. Despite what they said the other day, that's just a red herring.
Yeah.
Still going to be Game of Thrones. You heard it here first.
How about they not get a new castle? We stop having these stupid cabanas, and we have some new rides at Walt Disney World.
Nah,
now you're just asking too much, Chris.
I'm not asking for much. I mean, all right, we've got Avatar coming. Yeah, hooray! Wave the flag for Avatar. I just can't get excited about it. I'm sure it'd be good, but I mean, what else is coming down the pipeline? I mean, this rumored Guardians ride.
What's coming down the pipeline? Is that a reference to Nintendo Land at Universal?
Yeah, exactly. Universal wiping the floor with everybody.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they debunked that the other day, the Guardians thing. I don't think they've turned around and said that the Tower of Terror is going nowhere.
Yeah.
So the Tower of Terror is not going to be changed like the California one is. That's good news.
Yeah.
But
they didn't deny Epcot though.
They didn't deny Epcot, and they also announced the other day of Epcot that because of the success of Frozen, they're looking to turn it more, having more things. What are they called? Franchises.
More Disney-fied stuff, yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So, Ratatouille Paris, that's probably back on the cards, and I'm sure we'll see other bits and pieces as well. So, what we have been talking about recently, I think is going to become a reality, and I think that means a dead cert that we'll get a Guardians attraction. Oh, look, at the end of the day, the Guardians 2 trailer came out Saturday. We're recording this Monday, yeah? Has anyone seen that yet? Other than P-Dubs? Yeah. I know you have.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And I mean, I actually woke up my wife to watch it. So I knew how excited she'd be. She only fallen asleep on the sofa, but I was like, you need to get up and watch this. And we watched it twice. And then the next day we showed it to my daughter, who hasn't seen Guardians, but is aware of who Rocket is, because our friends have got a toy Rocket that they play with. So we got her to watch the trailer, and she thought it was hysterical. I mean, it just looks like another home run, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Looks amazing. And I think, sod Avatar, Disney, throw all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
It's
Marvel's biggest ever trailer.
What, download-wise?
Yeah, 81 million times.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Half of that was Nick.
Yeah. It's the second biggest trailer ever for any studio.
Wow.
Only beaten by the new Beauty and the Beast. So Disney are rolling
Disney
in it.
wins again.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm pleased. I am pleased to hear that, actually. But I just think it's going to knock it out. And so, yeah, if you want to build a Guardians attraction, by all means, go and do it. I'm glad you're going to leave Tower of Terror alone at Orlando, but just stick St. Guardians in. Small World.
Going back to the... Sorry, what?
Small World.
Small World.
Yeah, just get rid of Small World and put Guardians of the Galaxy in there. Why not? Just retheme it.
It's a good idea.
Loads of dancing baby Groots everywhere. Perfect. All good.
I just realised though that I think we've talked about the cabanas, we've talked about the buses, but what we talked about in terms of the castle, Disney's really missing an opportunity there. Remember they built that Golden Oaks luxury homes development?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What they really want to do is build one where you can buy the castle of your choice. Right? So you go to I could just imagine it. You drive down this street, this residential street, and you got Cinderella's castle on one side, Sleeping Beauty's on the other. It's just a street full of castles. I think it'd be fantastic.
License to print money.
You just know someone at Disney just written that down as a memo
I know.
to give to their
I won't get any credit for it whatsoever. But
We've got another idea
you heard it here
money
first.
out of people.
This podcast is just too good for giving them ideas.
This is the Disney marketing plan for 2017. This episode.
Yeah.
What else can we think of?
Residential homes, sticking a load of balloons to them, but tethering them to the ground.
What about you can pay
It's a bit like
extra and get off at Splash Mountain before the drop?
What you mean? That's called the Steven Spielberg ticket.
Doing a Spielberg, yeah.
And also applies to Space Mountain, Tower of Terror.
Yeah, Tower of Terror. Yeah.
just stop the ride there. It goes down in a very slow lift next door. Rock and Roller Coaster literally stops before you get to the first climb. So you get that speed boost and it stops immediately. 3 seconds and stops, and then it gets off. That again, it's an idea. License to print money.
Mm-hmm.
You could get the John Lasseter package. You can just walk around telling people what to do all day, and they completely ignore you.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And a new catchphrase was born.
Yeah. Show title.
Well, I kind of... So it's been a year. I didn't realise this, but today marks a year from when the first non-Paul episode went out.
Wow.
And what was supposed to be something that lasted, I thought, a couple of weeks has turned into a year. Bloody idiot. It's a bit like I'm just Captain Cook just popping out. He just hasn't returned.
Maybe a while.
Yeah, maybe a while. He just hasn't returned. So I wanted to point that out.
Meats, or what was it? Mouse.
Yeah, Mouse Meats. Yeah.
What was the one in America? Was it Mouse Fest or Mouse Meats? It went on hiatus, and that was like years ago. It's never come back.
Oh, it must be Mouse. It can't be Mouse Meats.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the UK copyright.
Mouse Fest. I think.
Mouse Fest. So that's been fun. So so years gone. hopefully it's been entertaining, mostly. I mean, we've got 3 decent people that have joined as well.
Who?
Three decent people.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
we've
you're
got
one of them.
3 people, I'd say.
Well, all right. You've not 3 people that have not made it any worse than it was before. Is that better? So thank you, Paul, Chris, and Boston. Hiya. Who just
Yeah.
yeah, she just wanted to know that she was there.
That was uncanny.
She's just run out again.
Bloody hell.
See you later. She's gone again. She had to go.
1940s, Amanda.
Ah.
Good night, sweetheart.
But I wanted to say thank you for because you've been here. That means you've been here almost a year now yourself. So
Wow.
thank you for.
I
for
made
the
my
last
first
year.
appearance more than a year ago.
Wow.
When was it?
Yeah, it was early November
Oh, we're in
when I
December
came
now.
on and did my rant.
Yeah. No, it
So-
was. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I think
Appropriate, soon as Craig had his rant earlier.
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And I'm about to have one in a minute, actually. And Mr. D, who you've been here ages now.
Ages.
Poor sods.
Yeah.
So thank you for sticking with me and not deserting the
Not
ship
just
like a
stepping
rat.
outside for a few minutes.
Yeah, like Mr.
Never to be
PB
seen
did.
again.
I missed
Well,
that,
we knew
man.
we knew he would go undercover. We just didn't expect him to go undercover from us.
Yeah, I believe he's still alive. I do believe he's still alive.
Oh yeah, I think so. He's living in Argentina now
Yeah.
under the false name of Adolf Hitler,
He did say
which I didn't think was very clever.
No, you thought it'd be a bit obvious. He did say don't cry for him though.
Yeah.
In the words of Ace Ventura, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
That would be on his tombstone actually, I'm sure. But he's not dead, so it's all right. But yeah, so thanks for letting me run right with this, Paul, and hopefully we'll have you back on again soon. We keep talking about it. So that also proves that we all get on still, don't we? But timing issues.
Yeah.
So I do want to have a little bit of rant in a second, but before I do, we've mentioned tonight about the damage that's been done in Paris. What can possibly be done, does anyone think, to rectify that? Other than, obviously, them answering their phones in a timely manner when you want to pay for your holiday. They're in an awful lot of doo-doo at the moment. Is there anything they can do, do you think? Or is it just a lost cause? Should they shut up shop?
I think in the form they're in, there's no coming back. I think the only way they can save it is by selling the majority back to the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, I think a law's going to have to change. But I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to set it back. And you know what? Part of me wonders if that's the master plan.
Yeah.
In a way, how can something as successful as it is, because let's be honest, it's not that no one goes to this park. It's the biggest tourist destination in Europe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Entertainment-wise, can be so far in the hole. You know, something doesn't add up. But maybe that's it. Maybe that's the plan.
At the rate it's going, they will owe the Walt Disney Company more money than the company's worth.
God.
And in that eventuality, it is literally just a case of just give them the company.
Yeah. Better to have something of part of something than everything of nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that made sense before it came out of my mouth. Typical me. Right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna step on my soapbox now myself and just have a little bit of a rant. I was not trying to cause trouble, right? I'm going to say this right at the top. I was not trying to cause any trouble with this. But a forum post on a Disney group said that as far as they were concerned, Star Wars was not Disney and never would be Disney. And they don't like them doing Star Wars stuff in the parks. That's how this started out, okay? So immediately, my reaction to that is, you can argue all day whether or not you want to count episodes 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3 as Disney films. Because they own them but they didn't make them, right? So I can see that argument. Everything, obviously, 7 onwards is. And this led to talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas. So timely, because it's kind of, we're past October and we're now into December, so perfect time for the film. And they said that they couldn't see The Night Before Christmas as a Disney film. It was a Tim Burton film. Now, I saw this when it first came out, and it was a Touchstone release. Touchstone being what, everybody?
Disney-owned.
A Disney-owned production company. They released it because Disney were too scared that it was a bit too adult for people. But it was a Touchstone release. Now, ever since it became popular, and of course Hot Topic opened their doors, Disney have wanted everything to do with The Night Before Christmas. And in fact, who directs The Night Before Christmas?
Don't know.
I can't remember.
Well, it's called Tim Burton's Night Before Christmas. Who directs it?
He didn't direct it.
He didn't direct it, no! Exactly. So, people that are saying, well, it's a Tim Burton film, I'll just associate it with him and not Disney. Well, it's not even really a Tim Burton film. It's based on stuff he designed. It's based on the story he created.
Henry Selick.
Henry
Tom's
Selick.
brother.
Yes, exactly. His less famous brother, Tom Selleck. Henry Selick directed that, and of course went on to direct James and the Giant Peach and Coraline. That was not a Disney film, because James and the Giant Peach obviously was a Disney film as well.
And he looks like Jigsaw from Saw.
Who? Henry Selick.
Henry Selick.
Really? I've never seen him actually. Hang on, is Jigsaw the little one on the bike?
Both.
But yeah, and it just really, really annoyed me, because it was like basically picking and choosing what you wanted. All right, I don't think that's Disney enough, so I'm not going to support it as Disney. And in fact, at one point, one of the arguments was, well, it doesn't say Disney on the DVD box, does it? To which I pulled up an image of the 20th anniversary edition of the film, which says Disney's Tim Burton's Night Before Christmas. So yes, it does. But I just thought, you can't pick and choose these things. Am I wrong to like that for that to make me angry, or should a Disney film be a Disney film if it's made by Disney, no matter if somebody like Tim Burton was involved or not?
Well, a lot of people
I
say
don't
Disney.
see how that works.
In what? Sorry, what? In view of me, or in view of?
No, them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Alice in Wonderland isn't Disney because Tim Burton directed it and wrote it.
Well, I pointed out in this argument as well that, and this actually came as a shock to me. I turned around and said, so do you consider Alice in Wonderland, Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, do you say these are Disney films, even though Walt Disney didn't come up with the stories? And somebody was like, he didn't? Absolutely, genuinely, I was like, yes, these are based on fairy tales. Didn't have a clue. Did not have a clue. This blew their mind.
Look, you can't argue with stupid.
Exactly. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, where do you draw the line? If it's a Disney film, surely it's a Disney film, and that's it. You can't go, well, I don't want it to be a Disney film. It either is or it isn't. Just some people.
Very strange.
Yeah.
So.
But I didn't get chucked out, which was nice. I wasn't trying to be rude, but as you say,
This time.
not on this occasion. This time I was trying to be quite sensible, but yeah. So there you go. So that was my little rant. But I think that's it. I don't think we've covered all the stories now, the main stories, haven't we?
I found out something fairly mind-blowing about a Disney film.
Go on.
Bed Knobs and Broomsticks is a collection of stuff that the old lady cut out of Mary Poppins.
Eh?
I know, right? Well, you've seen Saving Mr. Banks, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know the P.L. Travers. She's this crotchety old lady, and she won't have this, and she won't have that, and Disney can't do this.
Yeah.
Well, all the stuff that they created that she didn't like, they just jammed it into Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah, a lot of the songs are songs that were cut from Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
I mean,
How amazing is that?
it makes an awful lot of sense. Of course, it makes an awful lot of sense because a lot of the animation is the same, isn't it? In those kind of scenes, and of course, Bedknobs and Broomsticks has two things I want to say about Bedknobs and Broomsticks. One, it's how I spent my wedding night. I know.
What, you spent your wedding night wrong then.
I know. Most people, want to use their wedding night to fornicate. No, we watched Bedknobs and Broomsticks eating turkey drummers.
Was you bobbing along?
No. Not when you're eating turkey drummers. Don't be silly. It was the first time I'd ever watched Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Actually, I'd seen bits and pieces, but we sat there and watched it. And the second thing, I then found out that night that it has one of my favourite lines. One of our favourite lines, actually, mine and my wife's favourite lines in movie history. When the little boy goes, "Here, get your hands off my knob." Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. When you're...
Is that what you said to Lindsay that night?
No, unfortunately not that night. I mean, it's all right. We've, obviously the marriage has been consummated by now.
That's my knob now, boy.
It's great. We just kept running it back and creasing up. Yeah, you can have sex after that. It was just too funny after that point. But yeah, so it's quite early on in the film as well. In the first half of the film, he says that. It's a great line, well executed. I'm going to have to go back and watch it now. Yeah.
Is it me, or does Angela Lansbury say, "Come on, Paul, get your knob out"? Does she actually say that line?
Well, it wouldn't surprise. I mean, that line I said there. That's not me. That's not a Captain Puckwash. That's not a Mandela effect. In effect, that I can confirm, having seen that fairly recently, that is a line in the film. That line by Angela Lansbury, not too sure about, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is, because I think
I'm sure there's definitely something in there about twisting his knob as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the innuendo was clearly strong in that one. It was an innocent time. Can we just
clarify it? Because I don't know. In America, they do know that when we say knob, we're thinking of
Johnson.
A gentleman part.
Yeah.
Do they have that as a...
That's an interesting point, actually. Yeah.
I don't know.
So while we're laughing about somebody's knob being turned, we're laughing because we're thinking cock. That basically is just an elaborate cock routine. We're talking cock right now.
We could also say wanker.
That's the thing. My favourite fact about that is that in Married with Children, which I adored when I was growing up, Peggy's family. So Peggy's family in that. Whenever they weren't in it very often, but when they were, they used to bleep out. They used to bleep them out quite a lot, and I couldn't work out why. It was only when I found the internet and looked this stuff up when I was older. It's because her maiden name is Wanker.
You're joking.
No, because in America that doesn't have the connotation. So her maiden name was Wanker. And we've now said it numerous times, and I can't be bothered to edit it. So I'll just put this disclaimer at the front. It's fine. I really can't bother.
Craig already beat the horse to death on that.
Wanker into his heart's content. So if anyone like me watched Married with Children when they were younger and couldn't work out why there was a lot of bleeping in certain episodes, they were talking about Peggy's family.
Is that why they bleeped an episode of Dick Van Dyke? Every time they announced it's always beep, Van, beep.
Yes, yeah, no. They in the UK, yes, every episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show was bleeped, so it's just called the Van Show, which no one understood. no one got that at all. Very, very strange. Yeah, I think they did that in the episode. Oh, actually, no, the Simpsons got in trouble for that as well.
Did they?
Famously, Simpsons got in trouble. There's an episode where it was the end joke as well. It was an end credit joke, which they don't do very many of. And it was U2 on a plane with Mr. Burns, and I cannot remember the context.
Oh, that's right.
And I think the Edge calls Mr. Burns a wanker under his breath. And of course, when it got played out in America was completely fine, and when it got played out here, sometimes it gets censored and other times it doesn't. And Channel 4 got in trouble a few years ago by not bleeping it out at 6:30. Because obviously, a British person saying it, and in the context, is an insult rather than it just being a word. So, so there you go.
Wow.
Well, so
It's
this
the
week's
one
breaking
word
news.
they get away with.
Yeah. And they also called it a twat. I've never got my hand around that one.
Wasn't she an Olympian?
Possibly. And also, what's the other thing? And American listeners, you can let us know about this one. Please email us. Why can't you swear properly with your hands? Why do you have this thing when you give someone a middle finger and you have to bend your other fingers at 90-degree angles instead of folding them down flat at 180 degrees? What's that about? I've seen a lot of Americans do that. They flip the bird, as they say, and they have their fingers bent funny. Just have them, just squeeze them all together. Anyway, answer the postcard. Or if you're going to write an email, use the subject heading. This is why we pulled. No, this is why we pull my finger. This is why we do pull my finger. Because again, something else never understood. I know what it's supposed to do, but I don't understand the context of it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going to go to war with, America's going to go to war with China soon, and we'll all be dead, so it'll be fine. But if you can get us answers before that happens, please do. And on that literal bombshell,
Bob Iger only joined that Trump panel, so he doesn't do that because he's spent too much money building that damn Shanghai park.
Yeah, we already talked about that, have we? Iger's on Trump's board. The only thing that will make this even weirder is if the other rumour comes true, which is that Linda McMahon joins his board. Because they are famously good friends, and she was obviously running a few years ago, and she's been seen having meetings with him recently. So we could have, the wife of Vince You're Fired McMahon, who actually, by the way, is the owner of the greatest You're Fired in the world. When I said Trump's was number 2, it's because Vince's is number 1. She could be working with Trump as well. Linda McMahon and Bob Iger.
Wow.
Saturday
That's a tag team you want.
Saturday Night Live couldn't even write this stuff if they wanted to.
What's happened to the world? Have we all gone... Because all these Liverpudlians going back to the 1940s, some idiot has stepped on a butterfly or something, haven't they? And Biff has taken over as president. It's gone.
That was definitely
mad.
Craig.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, no wonder he's not. No wonder he's not here. That train he's on is a train travelling back in time. It's a train from Back to the Future 3.
Probably.
It's a train that Doc uses at the end of Back to the Future 3.
It's all making sense now, which is bloody scary.
If it's making sense now, you're right. It's bloody scary.
Yeah.
This is nonsensical. So, although at the same time very, very real. So you're right. With that said, thank you for joining us. After talking to people recently about how long podcasts should be, this one is hilariously over. I apologise. Thank you very much for joining us if you've made it this far. Thank you all for coming on and joining in with the discussions. And we will see you just before Christmas. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
See you now.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye now. Season's greetings.
This podcast is part of the After Dark Podcast Network.